Hello, welcome to Market Avenue. My name is Edward Nyakun. The IMF and government negotiation came to an end. For that, the initial one came to an end a couple of days ago. We're going to talk to Dr. George Domfe at the University of Ghana to find out more from him. The issues that have come up, some are wondering why they've left and said they're going to do monitoring from where they are. And more importantly, the Heathrow Airport managers in the UK has asked airlines to cut the number of flights to the airport because they don't have the personnel to man the airport. And as a result of that, the British Airways flight from Accra to London that used to fly 7 times a week is now reduced to 5 times a week. And this has spiked the cost of tickets. A ticket, economy ticket that was around $8,000 from economy from Ghana, Accra to London, that used to be around 8,000 cedis, is now in the area of about 30,000 Ghana cedis. We're going to talk to the managing editor of Aviation Ghana, Mr. Dominic Ando. Before we continue, let's take the basic language, which is looking at the best market for today. Going to the stock exchange, where the best presence on the stock market today was so strong, it pushed down the composite index more than 30 points. Let's go there and look at how the equity market fared for today. And the equity that drove the market today, that was MTN and Camelot. MTN lost about 4 pesos on the market. So if you look at the board here, the market went down by 42.52 points. And I think the biggest fall or dip in the year, and bringing down the year-to-date return to a negative 11.66 points, with the year-to-date return on the side of the financial segment at 0.52%. So that is a bit okay. But if you look at the composite index that started the week at 64.6 billion Ghana cedis, is now dipped by almost $1 billion. And now we are now in the range of 63.7 billion Ghana cedis. That is very interesting. Even yesterday, it was still hovering around 64.2, but as of now, we are in the range of 63.7 billion Ghana cedis. And the volume of shares that were traded today stood at 38,240,612 shares and was valued at 35 million Ghana cedis, 990.806.22 Ghana cedis. So let's go straight to the trading results and look at the equities that saw their their share price dipping, and this was led by almighty MTN, which lost about 4 pesos. So MTN lost 4 pesos, and then it sold almost 38 million shares today, 128,902, and was valued at 31 million Ghana cedis. Goil also sold about 205 shares, and then ETI Enterprise and Ecobank Transnational Incorporated sold 18,000 shares, and then Camelot, which also dipped by a peso, also sold 5,208 shares, and Bank also sold 2,807 shares. 150 shares by Ecobank Ghana, Das Pharma 78 shares, EGL as Enterprise Ghana 20 shares, ETI 18 shares, 6 shares by Farmwork, and GCB 76 shares, and Gold Ghana did 205 shares, 6,531 by Produce Buying Company, and then 36 by Standard Chartered Bank, and then SIC 200, Societe Generale 48,191 shares, but at the same price. So that is how the market fared for today. Going for a break, we'll come hook on to Dr. George Domfe, who is waiting for us online. and then we look at the aftermath of the first initial engagement with IMF by government. Welcome back, Dr. George Jomfer. If you're online, good evening. Hello, Doc, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, my brother.
Very good. Now, the IMF has expressed its commitment to support Ghana in the enhanced domestic financing program. Looking at the statement and reading through, what exactly did you, pick out of the statement of the IMF?
My brother, thank you and say very good evening to your cherished listeners and viewers. I can only so much, brother. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, please.
Okay. So to begin with, let me say that the report that came from an IMF is a vindication of what we have always been saying. We have been saying that the economy was doing very well, except that because of COVID and of course the Russian invasion into Ukraine, we have had some balance of payments, challenges. And it is clear that what we have been saying is true. Of course, it is about data. If you have an economy that is growing currently at 5.4%, your manufacturing sector is doing very well, agricultural sector doing very well, and many other beautiful indicators, except that prices of goods and services keep on going out of reach of the poor. Every day, prices of goods and services are going up, basically or significantly because of the increases in fuel prices. And all these are things that, as a country, we don't have what it is to, as it were, control them. These are externally inflicted. And so, it was good that the report laid there what is really causing where we are, because today the problem is that our reserves are being depleted, and so we have balance of payment challenges, and we identified that problem. And the question was, how did we come to where we are? And they explained that we are where we are significantly because of the COVID and also the Russian invasion into Ukraine.
All right. So, in the minds of the average Ghanaian, IMF is synonymous to rationalize or cutting expenditures. And some have expressed concerns that perhaps plenty for food and jobs will be affected. Free SHS is going to be affected. Job creation, public sector recruitment is going to be affected. Based on the initial statement by the IMF, do you sense that kind of pattern that has been the norm in this direction, though they have not concluded a negotiation?
Yes, so that is very good. They have now just come to identify the problems, and based on these problems, they are going to prepare. They will come back to now begin the negotiations with us. But you see, normally an IMF would instruct that do A, B, C, and D if they realize that you did not manage things well. Assuming the report has said that whatever is happening is because of incompetence of this government, because of the fact that the government is not managing A, B, C, D well, then of course they will come and tell you that because of it is because you did A, B, C, D wrong. That is why you got to where you are, and therefore we are advancing that henceforth, if we have to support you, you must do B, C, D in order to improve your situation. But today, if you look at the report that came yesterday, that is not what we are seeing. They are seeing where the problem is coming from, and the problems are not internal. Once they are not internal, it means that whatever that is currently being done is not why we are where we are, and therefore they will have no business telling us that we shouldn't do A, B, C, and D. Of course, what is happening again, I've seen that for the first time in the history of the life of Adam, we have seen over 100 countries going there for bailout, right? And because of this, they already know that it is not because of the fact that all these countries mismanage things, but it's significantly because of the Ukrainian war, Russia and Ukrainian war, and also the COVID. And so they have now relaxed their hitherto stringent measures that will always tell you do A, B, C, and D. And because of this, I have the hope that when they come for us to begin the negotiations, free SHS, planting for food, and all those things, they are really doing very well. That is Ghana's future, and I don't think they will ever touch it. Free SHS is Ghana's future, because if you look at the advanced countries, if you call every 100 adults, over 90 of them have acquired secondary school education or higher. In our situation, currently, only 21 out of every 100 adults have acquired secondary school education or higher. And that is why we are where we are. And so, free SHS is our future, and I'm sure they are not going to deal with it. In fact, they are very happy. If you read the report, they said that it is an innovative. So they are really happy with it, and I don't think they would ever touch it.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. John, for your time. We'll be right back. Dominic Ando will join us in the studio to analyze what is happening at the Heathrow Airport that spiked airfares up from 8,000 at economy level to about 30,000 Ghana cedis. Hello, welcome back to Market Avenue. Dominic, you're welcome to the studio.
Thank you, sir.
Great to have you once again.
Always a pleasure to be here.
Fantastic. What motivated the decision by the managers of Heathrow Airport to call for slashing or reduction of flights to the airport in the UK?
Okay, so over the past few weeks, the airport itself is not able to handle the number of passengers going through the airport or using the airport, especially Heathrow. I must say that it's not peculiar to just Heathrow. We have Heathrow, Gatwick, Birmingham is also facing the same thing. Manchester Airport, the same thing, all queues. This is because they don't have enough staff to operationalize the airport.
Okay.
And this goes way back to the corona time, how they laid off people. And now they are trying to call back some of those people, and some of them have moved on. The other issue is that they submit a list to the UK authorities and say, look, I have this number of people I've screened. I want to employ them. By the aviation, there are a lot of red tapes. Okay. You must make sure that the person you are going to put at the airport will not end up bombing the airport. So the security people will also have to do security clearance. Okay. And it takes some time to do that. And thirdly, the British government is saying that, look, you Heathrow, it's your problem. You need to find a solution to it. It doesn't mean that I have to lower my immigration requirements just to meet what you are saying. So what Heathrow has also decided to do is that today, for instance, is that Heathrow is engaging the airlines to see if the airlines can cut or cap the number of passengers going through the airport by day. They are saying that Heathrow now should be able to just handle 100,000 passengers a day. Wow. So they are telling the airlines that, can you stop selling tickets for the summer period between now and probably September 1st and cap the number of passenger throughput to 100,000, which means that they are requesting of the airlines to cut down 15% of the number of people willing to travel. But the airlines are also not taking it because they're also looking at their passengers. They say, why should I cut down?
There's a time to cash in.
Yes, why should I cut down my sales? Why should I cut down the number of passengers that's traveling through the airport? So they also don't want to hear it. But people are saying that this is the decision I'm taking. Some airlines like Emirates, Virgin Atlantic, say no, this doesn't make sense. But the likes of British Airways, today for instance, started contacting people who have to travel between now and all the way to about July 25th, asking if you can reschedule your flights to later free of charge. That's what they are trying to do.
Instead of rescheduling, you pay some amount of money and I do it free of charge for
do it free of charge because it's not your problem anyway. So do it free of charge. So that's what they are trying to get passengers to do. Can you reschedule? And of course, if they are not able to get you to reschedule, it means that unannounced cutting of flights or cancellation of flights will have to happen before they can able to fly.
But I heard they've reduced the number of flights from Ghana 7 days to 5 days now.
You mean British Airways?
British Airways.
Okay, so generally the problem happening at Heathrow is not only affecting British Airways. All airlines are impacted because there are so many queues. And a few weeks back there was a glitch, so a lot of baggage were left at Heathrow. So we realized that some people travel 2-3 weeks, they don't have their bags. That's aside. But in our context, British Airways coming to Ghana, for instance, they fly 7 days in a week. But now, because of the challenges at Heathrow, they foresaw this way back. So somewhere last month, they announced that we are capping it. So instead of flying Monday to Sunday, they now fly 5 times in a week. And because they fly 5 times in a week, and there's always a high demand for Accra-London flights, now demand exceeds supply. So obviously, the prices have pushed up a bit. And unfortunately for us, this happened within the summer period. So between June and September, we expect that, yes, of course, prices will be impacted. Because if you look at the prices now, they're really high. About $4,000 premium economy to fly between Accra and London.
Wow.
And then in business, you are paying close to, in city terms, about 70,000.
70,000 Ghana cedis.
Approximately 70,000 to fly on business.
And the economy, premium economy is about 30,000.
About 40,000.
40,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Wow.
If you convert, yeah. But the problem is this.
Even that one, you are being asked to reschedule and all those things. Wow.
But as consumers, we should know that we have the power to decide how we travel to the UK.
That's very important.
Probably for consumer, for convenience sake, you are going with kids, I want to fly direct, that's fine. Or I have a business to do in London. So I want to just fly and do my business at Heathrow Airport and come back. That's fine. But if you have options, you have time, you have alternatives, use them. For instance, you can
there are airlines that you can?
Yeah, precisely.
Okay.
You can use Kenya Airways. I'm not saying don't fly BA. Fly BA if you have to, or you want to get there early for convenience sake, that's fantastic. But if you can't afford the price now because obviously demand is high, there are alternatives. Kenya Airways, you pay close to $970, which is way less. Ethiopian Airlines, I just booked one yesterday for someone. It was just about 10,100 cedis.
Instead of 30,000 or 40,000 Ghana?
Precisely.
Okay.
To connect to London.
So you go through Addis Ababa and then?
Off to London, Heathrow, or Manchester, whichever one you want. You can do that. Or you can use Kenya Airways where you fly through Nairobi. They fly 3 times a week between Nairobi and London, where you can connect on some of their passenger, on their partner airlines.
But the question is, all these airlines you're talking about, the African airlines, I mean, Ethiopia, Kenya, when I get to Kenya, I might not be kept, I might not going to also experience the challenges because those in Kenya who want to fly to London might have also been told that, look here guys, cap your flights to Heathrow, and therefore that can also create a situation where it might be delayed for about 2 or 3 days in Nairobi or Addis Ababa.
As it stands now, that challenge doesn't exist.
Okay.
Because yesterday, for instance, the passenger I did a ticket for really connected seamlessly through Addis Ababa in no time. It was in Manchester. Okay. The outbound flights are the ones that are affected the most. Those flying from Heathrow to other parts of the world are the ones that are affected the most. But those arriving, we have much of a challenge. Because Addis Ababa is not choked, Nairobi is not choked. If you want to go to Brussels Airlines, you can use Brussels to Belgium and then come down to UK. That's fine. Except that on that leg, you may need a transit visa to fly on Brussels, KLM, Air France. But if you have a transit visa, it's a very good opportunity to use that route as well. They are all options.
Those fares have not gone up astronomically like we're seeing from BA?
Yeah, those flights because it's
also
summertime,
yeah.
it's gone up a bit, but not so much as we've seen from BA, the direct flights. Usually the connecting flights, the prices are a bit lower than the direct flights. So if you are going to London, for instance, and you want to use Brussels or KLM or Air France, you can do so once you have your Schengen visa. If you are going to any Schengen country, you already have the visa, can connect through these airlines and get to UK. Or you can use the alternative. You don't require a visa connecting to Kenya. You don't require a visa connecting through Addis Ababa. Yeah. You can easily use the alternatives and fly to London, which are much cheaper anyway.
Wow. Now, looking at what is happening, someone asked, when do we, should we expect this challenge at the Heathrow Airport to ease so that people can experience a little bit of, the pressure in their pocket might come down?
In fact, I would say not until September ending, because the capping that they just introduced, 50% of your flight, they said it will be valid till September 11th. So I don't expect the challenge to be solved until somewhere end of September. End of September. You know, October is a lead month, but usually by end of September, yes. And you know, it was getting to the end of September or September thereabout, students who traveled abroad are now rushing to get back to school. So they are trying to also avoid massive chaos at the airport around the period where those who have flown out of the UK are now returning home to school. They are trying to avoid that as well. But I don't see the problem being solved until the end of somewhere September.
Before we wrap up, on the west coast of Africa, we see Askai and the rest. How is the situation there?
Things are really picking up because Air Peace in Nigeria launched a flight to China recently, and it's a big one for Air Peace. In our case, next door Lomé, Askai is flying to Accra now 4 times a day. In fact, in terms of frequency, it's the biggest foreign operator in Ghana in terms of frequency. How many times they fly to Ghana? Askai is. South African Airways has also introduced a new package. They fly directly from Accra to Joburg anyway, but now they've introduced that 3 times a week. But they've now introduced something else, where you can fly on their partner airline. They have a partner, Africa World Airlines. The days they won't fly you directly from here to Joburg, they say you can fly on Africa World Airlines to Lagos and connect a flight from Lagos to Joburg. Okay. So in essence, you can fly 6 times a week or 7 times a week on them because they have a partnership with Africa World Airlines. So just the same ticket you buy, one ticket you buy, you fly from here to Lagos and connect from there to Joburg. That's one other aspect of it. And then a lot more airlines are introducing a lot of packages. For instance, Ethiopian, Emirates, they are introducing innovative packages. A flight to us this summer, you get that discount, that discount. That's also helping. And the last one we have to talk about, last 2 actually, is Air Senegal. Air Senegal is also scheduled to start flying again to Ghana within the next few weeks. They've just recently appointed a new managing director, just 2 days ago, a new managing director to steer the affairs of the airline. Now we come to Air Côte d'Ivoire. They've also launched a flight to Joburg, where you fly from Accra, connect through Abidjan, directly to Joburg. Wow. So it looks like Joburg is really opening up again.
As a regional hub.
Yes. So Askai flying to Joburg with just 1 stop. Air Côte d'Ivoire flying to Joburg with just 1 stop. South Africa Airways itself flying to Joburg 3 times directly from Accra and via Lagos 3 times, which means that side is also really building up on the West Coast. All right.
Thank you very much, Dominic Ando, Managing Editor of Aviation Ghana, for your time in the studio. So we'll be looking at the challenges in the airspace, airline space, but it's certain that by September, things might begin to take a different turn to help passengers reduce the costs of tickets that they've been buying now. So this is our wrap up on Market. My name is Edward Nyakun. God willing, we'll come here again tomorrow. Shalom.